Hey there and welcome. Thank you so much. Hopefully you got my message yesterday. If you were tuning in for our Q&A, I had a little family issue going on. Turns out all is well, but I appreciate your patience with that. It was, things come up, right? As we know. So I'm here for you today. This is our last Q&A before enrollment closes for the Naturally Recovering Autism Membership Program. It does close at midnight, Thursday, January 29th. So make sure that you go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, learn everything about it, hear parent testimonials that have had success from the program. And those are just a handful of the hundreds of testimonials that I have from parents worldwide that have had success, even in the program where they never really had before anywhere else. So that is what I want to do for you, is show you really what this program can do for you. I know that you've probably been jumping around the internet or from book to book or practitioners or therapists all over and trying different supplements. You're trying everything. I get it. That was my story. I lived it myself. And I was told to drug my son and try behavioral therapies, and good luck, there was nothing you could do for him. But fortunately, again, my background in craniosacral therapy, studying the brain, and in holistic health now for 38 years, studying nutrition and everything that has to do with health, naturally and safely, drug-free, I knew that the brain could heal. And when my son was diagnosed 20 years ago now, I just knew I had to figure it out for myself, because I wasn't finding the answers anywhere that I needed. And I know that that's likely what has brought you here today. You're still looking for answers because maybe you're brand new to the journey and you're just starting out, or maybe you've been on the journey for decades and you know that you've had maybe some results and your child's gotten a little better at certain things, and maybe you tried a little, bit of dietary changes and a little bit of detox, but there's still a lot going on, and your child can get better, and you're right. And that's because it hasn't been done thoroughly yet. I'm very much A to Z, and it hasn't been done properly. You have to know specifically what to do for autism. And this is the best program available online, absolutely bar none, for what you can get for helping your children to get to their optimum results, because you've got to know that you want to cover everything. In my 3-day event that I did, that goes with this enrollment open period, that you can still catch the replay for, in day 1, I taught all about healing the gut and all that implies, a little bit more about diet, and gave you some good tips for right now, which you can introduce, but also let you know that there's much more to diet than what you've likely already been told prior or learned prior. There's also being able to have toxin binders in place and certain detox support supplements, and they're very specific to autism, and you want to have the high quality products, and you want to make sure that they are don't have any fillers or bad things in them. They're bioabsorbable, and they're the right thing for what your child needs now. Autism is very, very specific. It's not just an overall general thing that you can cover, or some GP is going to cover with you. They don't know how to work with autism thoroughly and properly. And so this is something that I discovered on my journey. So in day 1, I taught you about healing the gut and all that implies, including some of the pathogens like, candida and other things, and then some of that detox support. And I also taught about natural and safe heavy metal detoxification versus the pharmaceutical drug, and what that can do and the harm that can do. We want to do this safely and naturally and effectively. So that was day 1. In day 2, I taught about clearing the co-infections like mold, Lyme, strep, PANS, parasites, and a little bit about viruses too. So those are all really, really important. And again, we can't just throw antibiotics at these, because they are antibiotic resistant usually. And most tests are going to come up negative, even if you've tested for them. So I always say, save your money. There's not a necessity to test for these things, because you might get a false result. And then you think, well, if my child doesn't have it, then, I don't need to do anything about it, when your child in fact does have it. We use everything safely and naturally, again, drug-free, so it can only help the body. It won't interfere with anything else that you may be doing. And stage 4 is brain support and repair. And we want to do that after we have cleared, helped heal the gut, because the gut controls the brain and the immune system and can cause a lot of inflammation in the body and on the brain. So can heavy metals. All of this, a lot of the symptoms we're seeing are overlapping from all 4 of these stages, right? The anger, the tantrums, the inability to focus when we know how brilliant they are, the sleep issues, the mood instability, and the wildness. There, all of the things there, speech. All of these are underlying symptoms. They're symptoms of underlying causes, and all of that, those that I just mentioned. So we want to do brain support and repair after, and I talked about why that is, because your child that really can't do most of what they're asked, and they may really want to. My son used to say that too, Mom, I want to, but I can't. Why can't I? And so once I pulled him out of those therapies, did the underlying work with him, now today my son's symptoms are gone. And every child's level of recovery is different, but I've helped parents whose children were severe and were told they would never speak to become calm, happy, relaxed, and with full speech. And this is just one example. So these things can happen if you know what to do, how to do it properly, and you have support and guidance. And I give you a step-by-step roadmap in my program. If you missed any of the 3 days of my live event, and you want to know where to join the program right now, everything, the replays for all 3 days that you can still catch until midnight, Thursday night, January 29th, and to join the program, the same deadline date is midnight, Thursday the 29th of January. So you want to go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. It's right here on the screen with me. Make sure that you go to that page. You can learn what the program offers, read from parent testimonials, even hear some that are in video form. And then the link to join the program is right there, and you can choose the option that works best for you. Once you click submit, then you'll get an email from me within 5 minutes, and it will give you your privacy protected login details to our private membership site, and it'll tell you where to go from there so you'll know what to do. You'll have a start here page that gives you a little bit of introduction, and then there's an introduction page that kind of says, okay, this is how the program, how this works, and here's the start getting started quick guide to follow to take you to the first page where the first supplements are to begin. And there's a wealth of knowledge in there as well, because I'm very much about educating you so that you know what you're doing and how to do it properly. We start very, very low and slow with even as much as little as a drop a day for some things, because it's important to know we don't ever want to just follow the guidelines on a bottle for dosages with a child with autism. And for most people, really, because we can send the immune system into an overactivation. We can cause too rapid die-off and end up with a PANS flare where they get heavy OCD and anxiety, and all of a sudden they're way worse than they were before. And you're thinking, what's going on? I thought this was supposed to help my child. So all of these things are explained to you in the program. And again, you'll have instant access to everything. There is also a privacy protected forum inside the membership site where you ask me your questions, if you have them, anytime you have them. Because a lot of parents might say, well, do I get any one-on-one help? What happens if I have a question about something specific for my child? Will I be able to talk to you? I have everybody ask me their questions in the forum. I'll get back to you within 24 hours there. And that way everyone can learn from it, because it's really important to understand, and you'll see that so many parents have the same questions you do, or you have the same questions that they have, or they've had the same question that you have, and it's already been answered. So we archive all the Q&A in there, so you can even use the search bar and type in some keywords, and a whole bunch of Q&A around it will come up. So it's already answered. But if you don't find your answer there, you just write me in the forum, and like I said, I'll get back to you in 24 hours. We also have a live monthly call where the group, the whole community comes on. You ask me your questions just like this in the chat. I answer as many as I can. We go through. It's supposed to be an hour long, but I often go way over that to make, just to answer as many questions as I can. The program is thorough, so the questions are usually answered there, but I like to give the live Q&A. It's kind of nice to be able to do that. So we do that once a month as well. And I'm doing a couple of extra bonuses for this enrollment period. So I explain all of that in day 3 of the event, which again, you can catch all the replays of my live event and get the link to join the program now before it all expires at midnight, Thursday, January 29th. Everything you need is at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. And so in day 3, I talk about the membership and what it offers you and how it works, and give you more of those details if you're wanting to learn more about those specifics. I walked through it. And you heard from a couple of members that have had success in the program as well. One mom, her son was 27 when she found my program, and he was nonverbal still, even he had been diagnosed at age 2. And her son was nonverbal, still at age 27. And she said, we fought so hard. They tried and nothing was working. And she joined my program thinking, I've got to do something. And in, I think it was like 3 months, her son starts talking and reading books with her. And this is after 25 years of her trying so many other things. So this is what I want you to understand, is that there are great possibilities here in this program where you may not have discovered them before. And we do things differently. And I always say, if you want to make a change, you have to do something different. This has been well researched by me. I have personal experience with my own son, and I have been doing this for 20 years now, researching. My son will be 30 in April, and he was diagnosed just before his 10th birthday. So for 20 years, I've been studying autism very specifically and in depth, and I continue to do that for the members to give you the most upfront, most up-to-date things that are happening right now for autism and what we can do. And I have found some wonderful new additions, or a new addition that I've added in recently that I've put in the program as well, that is having phenomenal help assisting the bodies to naturally accelerate its healing process. So I'm always keeping an eye out for you, even though my son now has his own recovery. I'm here working for you. I always say that my son got autism so that I could come here and help our community. And it is very rewarding to be able to see how many people have had success in my program, especially where they hadn't before. So again, enrollment period is open for a limited time right now. We started it, we opened it during my live 3-day event where I taught for 3 days, all free. It was there available to you. So go learn and then join the program. It is bar none the best way that I can help you. There is no book, no complete steps that I can do anywhere else, help support you on the journey as I can in the membership program. It is the best way. And I'm here to save you time and money. You don't have to buy all supplements up front. You only buy what you need when you need them. I don't sell them. You get them from the companies, and I give you direct links to the very well-researched supplement that you need. And when you need it, you purchase it, not before, just when you need it. And you'll know because there's a sequence that you follow. And the sequence is important. And this is why some people don't get results too, because they didn't do a sequence where you really strengthen that stability first. The detox pathways, have some toxin binders in place, really get the immune system and the gut and the brain stronger, so that as you move on further, into things where you're targeting more of the pathogens, the body can handle it. That's what we want to do. We don't want to go in and do fighters first. It's very important that we support the body from the get-go, and so we do it properly, which not only does it safely, as safe as can be, but we're doing it also so that you get the best results, and that's what it's really about. I'm also, for this enrollment period, offering my environmental toxins resource guide. It's a 13-page guide that I created for toxins that are in and around your home that you're often using daily and may not know it. So not only do I tell you what they are, but I give you solutions and resources to help balance that out, to make sure that your home isn't something, or some cosmetics or lotions or laundry detergents or various things that you might be using that could still be contributing to your child's issues and keeping them where they're at instead of helping you get results. So that's an extra bonus. You get a personalized reading for these very specific elixirs that we use. So that's very unique for your child. You have the live monthly calls. You have the forum where you can ask me questions 24/7. Again, I get back to you within 24 hours there. And then you have, for this enrollment period only, I am doing a welcoming onboarding call, and it's going to be 48 hours after the enrollment closes. And that way, right after everybody has gotten into the program and the enrollment period has closed. I know everybody who's going to join right now is in, and we begin, and you have any initial questions, like it's all there for you, like how to start, how to begin, where to start. But I like to give you that support because I know when we try something new, we're very commonly, feeling a little, insecure or vulnerable, or, sometimes like, can I do this? And I want you to feel strong and confident and know that you'll have support and also help answer any initial questions that you might have right out of the gate so that you know that you can, be strong and confident moving forward right away. And so we'll have that call, like I said, it'll be this Saturday, actually. It's for anybody who has joined before the enrollment closes at midnight, which is midnight Thursday, January 29th. If you're watching this live, that's tomorrow night at midnight. Or Thursday night. If you're watching this recorded, pay attention to the date. Thursday, January 29th at midnight is when enrollment will close. So everything, the replays of the 3 days of the live event that I taught, if you want to go learn everything there and what we do, including day 3, I talked more about the membership, how that works and what it offers you. And then the replays for all of those are there, along with the downloads for each day. And the first day I gave a food guide that includes a guide for picky eating. So if you want that, you can grab that, and the information about the program and the link to join and everything about how to do that very simply is all on the same page at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. So go there now, make sure that you join before the membership closes, because I don't want to see like 4, 6, 12 months from now, you're still struggling on the same journey, trying to figure out your answers. You're still hopping around from practitioners. You're still trying to figure out what diet is right. You're still trying to figure out what supplement to take next, or is this supplement any good? I answer all of that in the program. I've done the research for you. I've done the work. Come, let me hand it to you. And it's accessible for everyone. I've made it incredibly affordable. It is in over 40 countries, so it's available worldwide, anywhere. All you need is Wi-Fi. You can do it from your phone, laptop, tablet, anything. So it's easy. You just follow the steps and you go on your child's timeline. There is no hurrying up or keeping up. That's why I release the entire program to you up front, although I ask and request for your own ease and best results that you stick to the sequence, one thing at a time. You do one thing, you've implemented that. Okay, that's going well. Then you start the next one, and that's it. You just follow the sequence, because if you try to jump around or change anything, it'll get confusing for you. The only reason I release it all up front is because I know everybody moves forward at a different pace. That way, if you're ready to move on because your child's doing really well and they're not having any symptom increases from a supplement, and their body is getting better and they're just ready to move on, you don't have to wait for me to release some other part of the next piece of the program. You do it on your child's timeline. So I think that is the best way. It's worked out really well. We've been doing this for a very, very long time now. I have, like I said, the program's been going for 10 years strong, has tremendous success, and I hope that you join so that you get the success that you are needing and deserving for your child. Again, go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go and go there before the deadline, Thursday night, January 29th at midnight. So all of the replays, the information about the program, the link to join are all there, but they will all expire and go down on at midnight, Thursday, the 29th. Somebody's asking questions. There's always supplement questions that come in. I usually hesitate to get really into supplement questions, Rain, because it's just such a rabbit hole. I mean, people, what about this? What about this? Leucovorin, of course, made the media what, 2 months ago, maybe now, a little while ago, because once it's mentioned, when something like that is mentioned, people are like, oh, is that the big new thing? Well, it's been around forever. It's basically vitamin B9. And you can get it, over the counter on your own, but is it helpful? Sure. But do you know that your child's ready for it yet? And I've had this conversation with people who tried it and they said that their child got really hyper and wild on it. The reason that might happen is because the child's body is not ready for it yet, because some of the B vitamins, for one, have to be assimilated properly. They need to, the detox pathways need to be working well enough to support that. There needs to be enough strength in the body that they're not also feeding things like parasites in the body, making things worse. So you want to know, is it right for your child? And that you can start with a very, very, very small amount to try it if you're going to. I am not going to make us any suggestions. I'm saying if you're doing that, and you hopefully have some guidance from somebody about it, that you start with the smallest increment possible and move up. Because if you give too much or your child's not ready for it, you'll know pretty quickly. They'll get really wild and hyperactive. So that is what you want to be able to do, is gauge along the way if your child's ready for that. I do some support first before we get into more of the multis and the B vitamins, because of all of the things I just mentioned, with the methylation pathways not working, as well as they could, which is basically detox pathways and things like that. Often a child might not be ready for it. And parasites are such a big issue that if we haven't done a little bit of work with parasites first, again, naturally and safely, how we do it in the program is different than you'll be doing it anywhere else. And it's effective yet natural and safe. And so we do that prior to getting into some of those B and multivitamins, because we don't know if there's a big parasitic issue. We don't want to be feeding those parasites with a lot of those vitamins. And if you I gave some symptoms in day 2. I talked about the co-infection. So if you missed that, you can go back and look at the symptoms of many of the co-infections of mold, Lyme, PANS, that's PANS with pandas and strep, with the autoimmune issue, which it's attacking itself in the brain, and the hyperactivity and OCD. And then again with parasites, I gave a lot of the symptoms that you can look for. And I always advocate that symptoms are your best guide, because again, those tests are very inaccurate for a lot of these co-infections. So if you get a false negative, then you might think, well, my child doesn't have it. And then if you get a positive, then okay, you see that. But then usually if you're working with a practitioner, they're going to throw a bunch of antibiotics at you. So that's the thing that you've got to beware of. A lot of these are antibiotic resistant, and antibiotics can continue to destroy the good bacteria in the gut along with the bad, which can weaken our system even more. And then we have to rebuild even further. So these are all things to keep in mind. We don't do anything like that in my program. We only do things that are safe, effective. Again, I've got 20 years of autism research, my personal experience with my own son. My own family, even myself, use the majority of the supplements in the program today ourselves. And they're the best of the best for everything I've researched for our needs. And they're very, very beneficial for the parents, for you as a parent as well. Because I always say, take care of yourself, right? We are wanting to make sure that we're healthy for our kids, be here as long as we can. I know that's the biggest concern, is what will happen to my child someday when I'm gone. So we want to do all we can for them now, and we want to do all that we can for ourselves now as well, so that we can be here as long and as well for them as we can be. And so these are important pieces to always make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And so I just suggest doing the program yourself along with your child. And there's no extra cost. You can all do that for yourself along with them. And I do suggest it, because we pass a lot of infections and pathogens and things around the household. And so we don't want to be doing all this great work for our child with autism, but then we're not doing anything for ourselves and our spouse and the other children in the house, because then we can just keep passing things around. So it's important to make sure that we're being really thorough, and you have that option in the program as well. So hopefully that was helpful. And I appreciate you for being here and taking the time. I know some people come here on their lunch break to listen or to ask questions. And we did a live Q&A a couple days ago that's here in Facebook and YouTube as well that you can still catch. But really, everything that was very, very thorough is going to be the replays from the 3-day live event that I taught this last week, and information about the program, how it works, what it can offer you, and the links to join. The link to join the program, again, before it expires on Thursday night, January 29th at midnight, okay? Everything, all of it is in one place. We made it easy and convenient for you to go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, and go there now and make sure that you join the program before enrollment closes, because it's only open again for a very limited time, and I want to make sure that you get in and you can start on the right roadmap and have the right path and the right support now, so that you don't end up continuing on the path that you've been on that hasn't obviously gotten you results. And I want to see you be able to get the results that you deserve. You're welcome, Rainy. My pleasure. I'm happy to help. Oh, thanks, Loopy. Yeah, my mom is doing okay. I spent all day in the ER with her yesterday. It was a little scary, but she seems to be recovered and doing well today. Thank you. That's very sweet. I know. I was like, I've got this live. I'm supposed to be on Facebook live in like 5 minutes, and we're headed to the ER. So I jumped on because I didn't want to leave everybody hanging. Like, what happened to Karen? So, and hopefully if you're on our email list, we put an email out about it too, like, okay, we're rescheduling to tomorrow, God willing, and God was willing. So here we are. So yeah, you're so welcome, Loopy. I appreciate that and your kindness as well. So I hope, pleased to see you on the inside. Join the program before it, while enrollment is still open and before it closes. So go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, and I look forward to working with you and seeing the success that you can get for your child, and helping you on this journey and making it a happier, more confident, and more peaceful one, because life can be more peaceful. I promise it can be. It takes a little time and some effort, but with the right roadmap and the right support, you can get there. So thank you again so much for being here. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.